really. Let's start with the positivity, obviously, in the sense of it was an emotional but great send off for Timo Pukki today. Not the result clearly, and he was desperate to get a goal. You could see that, but just give us your thoughts on today for him and his family, and obviously his contribution to this football club.
Yeah, from my point of view, I think it was exactly the send-off which he deserved. Got a great reception for the game, during the game, after the game as well. I think it was very, very emotional day for him, but to be fair, for all of us. Unfortunately, he was not able to convert one of his opportunities which he had, and he had a few today. But everybody has, I think, seen that everyone really wanted to make sure that he scores today. Sometimes we searched him in the box that he make the goal rather than maybe to be a little bit more selfish in the one or other situation. But as you said, unfortunately, he was not able to take his goal or to win his last game. But I think he had a very good send-off today.
I mean, you spoke very warmly about him in the build-up to the game, and there's a lot of people, both former teammates, people still inside the club, likewise. But just to reiterate, 88 goals, I think that was his 210th appearance today. Two titles at this level, Championship Golden Boot, 2 seasons in the Premier League when he was in double figures. That's a huge loss for the football club, and his body of work over this period in 5 years is something else.
Yeah, I know where I come from, and it's correct. These are the numbers, but I think no one should underestimate what a great person and character this football club will lose as well. A person who is very reliable, very honest, very down to earth. This is how I get known him in the last 4 months, which I was able to work with him, and this is as well something what we lose. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish Timo and his family all the best for the future, for the next step, wherever it will be for him. I think he deserves it. He is for sure one of the standout strikers in Norwich City histories, and I think with more time goes by, it gets even bigger what he has done, and what kind of a striker we had here for 5 years at Norwich.
The game itself, another home defeat. I'm sure you don't, you know yourself. That's not where this club needs to be now. And you've talked a lot about over the last few weeks that things need to change, and there is a big summer ahead. Did we see graphically maybe some of the issues there that you've already identified and that you and Stuart now need to sort of address in terms of how today played out as well?
Yeah, I think today everybody has seen we started well. First 20-25 minutes, created opportunities, we conceded, and all of a sudden it was less good, less confident. Second half was by far not as good as the first half, and this is apart from being more clinical, being more ruthless as well. If you see the goal which we conceded, where we are only too nice, there are a lot of topics in this game, or there were a lot of topics in this game and in the last games, to be fair as well, comparable topics where it's very, very obviously what problems we have to solve or we will solve, and obviously we are on the way. I said this more often. I'm very excited about what is in front of us, because we all together know a season like this, we have to make sure that this will not happen again, and for this we have a lot of work to do.
As you say, a lot of work to do, and we all appreciate you only came in January, so it's tough to sort of lay this at your door, obviously, but a bottom half finish for this group of players, that's nowhere near good enough, is it?
Yeah, this is a truth, but there is a reason for, and now it's all about to be honest to each other and to make sure that we make the right decisions and get the right players in and get the right mindset into this football club to go back to the winning ways.
And is that mindset a key factor in what you're looking for now, that you feel there's players that need to come in who can drive that and instill that in this group?
yeah, this is one of the things which we have to solve, that we have a different mindset. Obviously, we have to be honest as well. We had a lot of key players missing in the last 5-6 weeks. This is then as well an issue in terms of quality, which we have to make sure that we have more players in the squad who are able in difficult situations, difficult circumstances to still perform on the level which they have to. But yeah, we have a lot of things to do. We know there's much more long. To be fair, we are already have done some of our works, but it will be a very busy summer for sure. So now, after the season is over, I think for everyone it's now really important, and this is exactly what we have to do, is to looking forward and to leave this season, which wasn't a season where we have to speak about a lot, behind us, and looking forward to the next one.
As you said, you reiterated it there, but you said to us before the game, the work's already underway. You're already showing prospective players around, and there is a name that's come to light. I had to throw it at you, Ashley Barnes from Burnley. Is that a player of interest?
I don't like to speak in details about several names. Once something is confirmed, then you will be for sure one of the first who will get it known.
If only. But on a broader point, one window, the scale of the job, you keep reiterating there's a huge job ahead, and it isn't just about what you do in the window. You talked also about pre-season. You have to get that right, but can you do the work you need to do in the transfer element in one window? How tough is that?
I'm for sure it's not possible to do in one window, but it's possible to do a big step in one window, and a right step. And as I said, it's about the window, but it's about the mindset, the pre-season as well. It's about the willingness to change the borderline, to really go out of this comfort zone, to really push forward, to accept that I have to suffer if I like to improve and to develop. And these are all things which for sure we all together will make happen in the pre-season as well.
Just on the final one for me, as you say, you want to shift it now and move that narrative forward in terms of what comes next. But it's impossible we can hear it again today, that frustration, discontent again towards the sporting director. You came out after the Swansea game and defended him and said nobody cares, or nobody wants to bring the good times back to this club as much as he does. But how do you put this back together? Because it feels like maybe the fan base are quite unhappy and there is that disconnect. How do you put it back together?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I can only repeat what I've said. I think, or not I think, I know, and I only can say I accept, and to be fair, I respect the frustration as well. I totally can understand it, so because I am frustrated as well. But I think, as I said, it makes no sense to finger point out one person in a situation when it goes against you. It's that we all have to stick together and push forward. And as frustrated as they are, I know the only one who can turn this is us. So we can't wait, pray, or hope for anything. We have to be much more better than what we've shown in the past. Perform much more better. Obviously, collect much more points, especially at home. And this is us. And obviously, Stuart is more than keen to show as well we can better than what we have done in the past. So, and this is exactly the moment where we all together try this.
David, is there a suggestion that, obviously they're a good group of lads, good personnel in there, but is there a suggestion that within a club a certain squad has a shelf life, and that you get to a point where you really need to refresh and reset, and actually it's time for quite a lot of players to move on and new people to come in because it can get stale?
Yeah. This can be true. Yeah, for sure. So I think at the end of the day, sometimes if a group is too long together with too many positive but a lot of negative experiences as well, then they need an impulse from the outside of change. And this is not because they are bad characters or they don't care. It's only about too many persons working too long together and everything is clear, positioning wise, hierarchy wise. No one really pushed the next one to the next level, and this is sometimes something what happens in a business in which we are, and you have to realize it, and then you have to make sure that you take the consequences, or that you make the right decisions, that you break this. And this happens sometimes without that they are being bad characters or they don't care. It's all about that they are too many players together, or the backroom stuff as well in the situations. Everyone works with everyone together, and then they have their certain routines, and if you have certain routines, you know it in your life probably as well. Sometimes you have to have a new push from another side to really make a step forward, and this is what we like to do.
And when you look at that group, and you've had 4 months now, and you know this league well with your time at Huddersfield and here, do you look at that group and feel perhaps they need to be, it's a physical league, so do you feel that perhaps you need a little bit more stronger presence and also some pace?
That we are not the most physical team, not the team with the biggest height, not the team with the most speed. I think everyone can see this. Yeah, we have a lot of topics which we have to make sure that we can make a tuck behind it after this window and after the pre-season as well.
Final question then.
But if I can say this, we as well, and nobody should underestimate us for the future. We have a core of players who I know I can and we can for 100% trust, and who has exactly this willingness, this desire to push forward. But we don't have enough. And the core which we have and the ideas which we have, this makes me so confident and so exciting for the future.
So with that in mind then, in terms of you saying a group needs refreshing from another side, the outside, how many number-wise do you think you need to bring in? Given that 5 left last week, and there'll be further players that may or may not go, what sort of number are you looking at bringing in?
To be fair, I don't look for the numbers, I look for the right ones. Obviously, we already announced that 6 players who were contracted in this season will not be contracted in the next season, plus the ones who were on loan, the 2 guys. But I don't like to name a number. I think this makes no sense. We have to find the right ones.
David, is it also important that you add some experience this summer?
I don't think that experience in general solves your issues, but if we now have more often spoken about how this group reacted after setbacks or after they conceded, and I know that in the last weeks we had a very young squad available. More often it is that experienced players know the situations and they are still calm enough and can still give the direction that we respect and accept maybe a setback, but we stick and believe in what we are doing and continue what we are doing. And this means sometimes experience helps, but it isn't the case that we are only looking for experienced players.
Thanks, David.
Right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.